What's up, everybody? We are back with another edition of the Ad Podcast, coming to you live from the Braze studios here in Cannes on the Palais. And we have Mariam, who is the Chief Strategy Officer and the Chief Brand Officer and Head of Strategy Consulting at Braze. Did I get that right? VP?
Yeah.
Let's go.
VP of Brand, yeah.
Appreciate you giving me a little tune-up on that. But
sure.
Yeah, so tell me a little bit more about yourself and your role here at Braze. What do you got? What are you up to within New York?
So I've been at Braze for about 4 years. I joined from the advertising world. I was at McCann for like 8 years before that. I joined to help build like a creative strategy team at Braze, and how do we have strategists that work with customers to help them think more creatively about what they see probably as a really stale CRM tool that just, like, to your point, like sends emails and like push notifications. So our role is to like jolt them up a little bit and like inspire imagination. And then, I look after the industry marketing and brand marketing team here as well. Very cool. There's a lot happening constantly.
A lot of hats, a lot of cross disciplines.
Depends on the month and like what we're talking about. But this month is all about Cannes.
I love it.
And creativity. So we're here. Braze has been at Cannes for like 10 years.
Wow.
And
I didn't realize.
Yeah.
I feel like I've been aware of Braze for like the last 3 or 4 years.
Okay. Yeah. I love that you say that. We used to just kind of have the ad that would go up around the Carlton that was like Braze. And I remember when I would come to Cannes, I would be like, well, what does Braze do? Like, what is that? So like over the last 4 years, we've really tried to take more of a stand on creativity, like how your CRM tool can be more than just pipes and really make, your brand stand out. How do you use it to get more out of it? Right? It's
pipes only work if it has interesting juices flowing through the pipes, right?
Totally. But you have to see it differently, right? Like if you see it as this really boring thing, you need to inspire people to see it differently. And that's what we've been working on over the last year. And so we've got billboards more around like creativity and like the ad industry. Like we see ourselves as like the engagement platform like for creatives, and that creatives can do the most with.
I love that. And you're a jurist this year?
I am. That's right. Thank you. I was on the shortlisting jury for creative strategy. Okay. So I watched a lot of videos and a lot of work this year, which was nice.
Have you guys announced yet?
No, well, the creative strategy awards haven't gone out yet, but they're doing we kind of help the jurors get a shorter shortlist, because there was about 300 entries. And so you can't send 300 to the jury.
Totally.
And when they get too many, they use a shortlisting jury in a couple categories to help narrow that down. And then this week, the jury team meets and awards whoever wins.
So what was your philosophy as you went into the work and the category that you were judging for? What were you looking for? What were some things that maybe stood out or surprised you without spilling any beans?
Yeah, I think, I've been coming to Cannes for over 10 years.
Wow, so you're a veteran.
I'm a veteran, and I think I remember work, like Always Like a Girl won one of the first years I was here. And then it was Fearless Girl
with the stock exchange.
Totally. Yeah. And like, I think ever
State
since
Street,
then, State Street Global
so I remember.
So you do, that's great.
It worked.
And I think that ever since, you've seen like a huge influx of work that's like, everyone embracing purpose and like really trying to like change the world. And I think when that's done well, it's great and super powerful. And you saw that in a couple of the examples
brands are authentically living their brand purpose as a culture.
Yes. The one thing I would say, the but is this for me, the but is that like, I think since those awards, a lot of the briefs can sometimes try to carry the weight of the world. I really appreciated brands this year. And I think Heinz has done a great job of this, like consistently over the last couple of years. Like brands are also meant to like spark joy and like happiness and like optimism.
It's kind of like during COVID when all the Super Bowl spots were like a little melancholy and not enough fun and humor and laughs.
Exactly. And so it's a sea of like sameness a little bit. And the world is like heavy right now. And so in that, I think escapism, joy, lightheartedness have a lot of value.
Totally.
And that humor, it's not a cop-out. It's a connector. And so for that reason, I really loved the brands this year that really embraced joy and like bringing joy and humor to their customers. Cause I think like the world needs that right now.
I think that's smart. I think, you can make people laugh, or you can make them cry, or you can make them, ask, am I believing my own eyes? You can try and surprise them and have a reveal that they didn't expect coming. But, I think you have to pick one of those three emotions carefully if you're going to lean into it in a meaningful way.
Yeah. But, I think it's back to what I think the opportunity is. It's like making people feel something about you. It's not like the rationalization of what channel or what thing should be your abandoned cart. Like, it's more like, how do I, as a brand, like connect with you in the modern world?
I love that.
And I like it through lighthearted and humor more than I like it through the weight.
Through seriousness. Yeah.
Which is valuable, but
No, I'm with you. So tell me about how Braze is showing up at Cannes. You've got this beautiful little studio here on the Palais.
Yeah.
You talked about some, being traditionally active in the outdoor space and doing kind of bold canvases within the four walls of downtown. But anything you guys are doing special this year to kind of bring the brand to life for the advertising and marketing audience that's walking around and experiencing a lot of messaging?
Yes. Well, we just acquired OfferFit, which is an AI company. Yeah. We're integrating them right now. And I think here we're using this to really try to start telling the story of like, what does AI-powered customer engagement look like truly with this integration and with this product coming in? So we're hosting a couple events, right? This is the target, like in terms of like bigger companies, big global brands are the ones that tend to like these types of solutions. So just in terms of like just the sales side of it, like I think that's what's happening. For us, it's about partners.
I love that.
And just really, meeting, we've got like Snowflake next door, AWS and Meta, like these are folks that we have solutions with today as we do get a little bit more sophisticated as a company.
Rising the tide through brand affinity and partnerships.
Squad goals, right?
Yeah,
like what does your best in class tech stack look like? And like how do we make sure that we're showing up with our partners meaningfully as well? We're doing a ton with WPP. We love that. I think, like I said, as we've gone public, we've gotten more sophisticated in some of this and just making sure we know the people that we're working with and building relationships with them is a focus for me.
Very smart. And we just got to meet some Braze content creators a moment ago. A few influencers that you've unleashed on the scene down here at Cannes. So how do you think of the perspective of creator marketing as a B2B brand? What do those creators do for you? Is it content? Is it awareness and engagement? A little bit of everything?
Yeah, it's that personality, right?
Yeah, so putting a face with the brand.
Right, exactly, right? And so even a B2B company like has employees, has people, has a story to tell there. You just met Ishan, who is our famous, he's actually an employee on our team. He's a creative strategist on the 427.
Not just a hired gun, he's part of the crew.
And so a couple of years ago, we invented kind of at our event, Billy on the street is the man, man on the street doing interviews. So we had Ishan on the street doing it at Forge at our event. We moved Forge to Las Vegas. So we're like, all right, let's do Ishan on the strip.
Nice.
And then we went to Mexico City the other month. We're like, Ishan on La Calle. And so then we're here.
So he's become kind of a character that people are familiar with if they are tuning into your marketing versus just a talking head.
Yeah, so now it's Ishan on the closet.
So good.
This week. It's kind of just again, we're trying to have a little more fun. I think we've got the serious side down. How do we build that brand out, right? Like we're a vibe. There's an electricity about the people at Braze. So how do I make sure that comes through in some of the communications that we give to our customers too?
I love it. So we talked a lot about how brands can leverage Braze as a platform to unleash creativity to their owned audience. We talked a little bit off camera how email is the only audience that you truly own. You can have as many followers as you want on social media sites, but you're dictated by the relationship with those platforms, algorithms, pay-to-play models. Email is yours. Highest click-through rates, highest open rates, highest performance from an earned channel. How are you guys? Any case study or client come to mind where you guys did something really exciting and helped them bring their campaign to life through your platform?
Well, email is one that's on my list of like, I want a winner there. There's some great examples in the past from other can winners that have used email really well. I think Chipotle had a great example, and I thought they were great. We had Pedidos Ya, which was the push notification that went out and said, your order is on the way when the World Cup trophy was coming back from Qatar to Argentina. And so that was like their push notification campaign that won. Email, I just think, so many brands keep it disconnected from their mobile experience, which I just think is bananas, because it is the most like editorial, the place to tell the story. I think it's the place where you take everything that you know and that sort of other side.
It's kind of limitless and how you can communicate. You can let people go as deep as they want.
We have a ton of people that do like a year in review campaign for us, which has been a big success from the email side, I would say, to date. I think I love that, but I'm like, hey guys.
And is that also leveraging data so they can say like, here's, you watched this many Spotify minutes and those types of things.
NBC, year in review streaming. Crumble did your year in review ordering. Sprouts grocery store did it too. And I say like everyone does it because it's easy and it works. We love hearing about ourselves.
We love to look at our steps and see how many minutes we slept.
Exactly.
All our wearable technology.
It's that. And but what I've actually briefed my team this year, and I was like, people are so much more than a summary of their transactions. Get me into behavioral understanding. A couple years ago, we had like the Mexico City Whopper where they brought you Whoppers waiting in traffic in Mexico City because it's such bad traffic, right? I'm like, that's a level of understanding of your audience and like a pain point, right?
Have an insight to build around versus just data for the sake of data. I wonder if AI will help us make sense of those treasure troves of personalized data and make it more actionable and meaningful, like in the insights that it provides. Like, I love that idea, like the Chipotle thing, when I heard about it, was like, so novel, like, oh, you and somebody else ordered the same item somewhere in the world. And it just, I think the insight there is the world is bigger than you think and also smaller than you think.
Yes, totally. And it's connection, right? You're connecting somebody. I remember it's actually Kraft Mac and Cheese that did a similar campaign on Twitter many years ago called like Mac and Jinx. If you talked about mac and cheese at the same time, you got an alert. So you start to see some of the brands, right, migrating a little bit more to like their own channels. And I think that's definitely an opportunity. AI, I think AI, what we've been talking about a lot is, marketing hasn't changed, right? It's about you connecting with people, them feeling that your audience, that your product is relevant to them and buying it as often as they can, like throughout the year. But the tools and the ways that we talk to them have changed and gotten super complicated. I'm blown away when I meet customers that have like 4 different tools for their own channels, right? Like that is just like too complex. The pendulum's like sort of swung too far. And I think with AI and having sort of an all-in-one platform, AI can actually do the basics for you. What channel, what time, what message, what things. And then you actually have more time to understand and learn your customers, think strategically, and be creative, right?
Yeah, so it takes a lot of the minutia out of marketing out of the picture.
I think that's gotten pushed out. I think that's why everyone does do the same things of the offers and every food company, every retail company does abandoned cart. So I think as all boats rise and people get the same tech, it's really going to be about your brand building, your messaging that helps you differentiate from your customers. So how do you do that is what I think about.
I like it. Well, if people want to connect with you and learn more about what they can do with Braze, where do they find out more information, or where do they connect with you individually?
Yeah, I'm on LinkedIn. Perfect. Hit me on LinkedIn. That's probably the best. And I'll connect you with whoever you need to speak with.
Let's go.
Minus maybe the CEO.
Mariam Asmar, everybody.
Thanks for having me.